Have you ever been on a great first date? You're laughing, the connection feels real, and then, over the next few days, you feel her just fade away. You replay every moment wondering what huge mistake you made. Here's the truth. It's almost never one big dramatic error. Most of the time, attraction is eroded by small, subtle, and often well-intentioned habits that secretly turn your good intentions against you. These are the 6 good guy traps. In this video, we are going to diagnose and fix every single one, so you can show up as your genuinely confident self. And the first trap is the one that almost every good guy falls into, because it feels like the most logical way to show you care. This is the availability trap, and it's about mixing up showing interest with being constantly on call for her. You do this because you want her to feel chosen, like she's a priority and you're genuinely invested. So you text back the second she messages, you say yes to every plan, you reshuffle your day thinking, she'll see I really care. But from her side, when that level of availability becomes your default setting, it starts to land differently. At first it's flattering. Over time, if you're always free and always dropping your own stuff, she starts wondering, what does his life actually look like if he can always reply instantly? And does he have his own plans, or am I the only thing on his calendar? That repeated pattern quietly shifts you in her mind from, this guy has a full life and is choosing to fit me into it, to, I am his whole focus, and that feels a bit heavy. Balanced availability means exactly this. Sometimes you'll reply right away because you genuinely can. Sometimes you'll get back to her later because you're busy and you don't routinely sacrifice your own priorities just to prove you like her. So, for example, the wrong way, she texts you for a last-minute plan and you fire back. Absolutely, I'll just cancel my gym session, I'm all yours. Do you have to keep every gym session sacred forever? No, but if your reflex is always, I'll cancel what I'm doing for you, it reads as needy and a little self-erasing. The better move is still warm but grounded. Awesome, I'd love to. I'm busy until 8. Can we meet after that? That shows clear interest, and it also shows you have your own schedule. As a general rule, don't cancel existing commitments just to prove you care. Offer the next real time you're actually free instead, whether that's for a call, a drink, or a future date. The key is this. The goal isn't to be hard to get, it's to be hard to replace. Hard to get is when you play games, waiting to reply on purpose, pretending to be busy, manufacturing distance. Hard to replace is when you genuinely have a life. Your workouts, your projects, your friends, your family time, the stuff that matters to you. You still make space for her, but you do it by inviting her into a life that was already moving, not by abandoning your own plans every time she appears. So quick self-check. Have you ever caught yourself dropping everything because she sent a last-minute text or call? Be honest and drop a yes or no in the comments. It's just data, not judgment. Now that you have a feel for managing your availability, what about when you're actually with her? Another very good guy instinct, trying to show deep curiosity, can quietly turn a fun date into a stressful job interview and kill the vibe. And that's what we're breaking down next. This brings us to the second good guy trap, the interview. This is where a great conversation slowly dies because it stops feeling like a fun back and forth and starts feeling like a deposition. Let's be clear. You do this for a good reason. You ask a lot of questions because you're genuinely curious and you want to show her that you're interested in who she is. But here's how she experiences it. Question after question after question. It can end up feeling like a performance, putting all the pressure on her to be interesting while you just sit back and collect data. That doesn't build connection. It builds pressure. So, what's the fix? You need to make it a tennis match, not a pitching machine. Don't just serve questions at her. When she hits the ball back to you, you have to hit it back. Here's the bad version, the interview flow. You ask, where are you from? She says, Ohio. You say, cool, so Do you have any siblings? You see? The topic is dead. You just moved on to the next item on your checklist. Here's the right way. This is the connection flow. You'd ask, where are you from? She says, Wayne, Ohio. Instead of moving on, you connect with it. No way, I have family near Cleveland. I've always thought the people there are super friendly. Did you like growing up there? See the difference. You gave a piece of yourself. You shared a thought. You turned her answer into a shared space. The model is question, then connection, then response. That connection part is your job. If she tells you she loves to travel, don't just ask where she's been. Connect with it. That's amazing. Japan has been on my list forever. The food scene there looks incredible. You're inviting a real conversation, not just conducting an audit of her life. Now, mastering your availability and your conversation style are huge steps. But there's one final trap in this early stage that is, by far, the fastest and most powerful attraction killer of them all. It's a behavior that screams insecurity so loudly, it can undo all your hard work in an instant. And it's something most good guys think they are supposed to do. That behavior is the third good guy trap, the justification trap. It's the habit of constantly over-explaining or apologizing for your own words and actions. Every time you do it, attraction drains, and you slip into a needy, please approve of me position. You do this because you're considerate. You want to make sure you're not misunderstood and that she is comfortable and having a good time. Your intention is genuinely good. But what a woman actually hears is not your consideration. It's a loud alarm of insecurity. It tells her you're scared of her judgment, and you don't trust your own thoughts, that you're asking for her permission to have an opinion. In her head, that feels like, he isn't steady. I can't relax around him. Underneath, you're trying to manage how she sees you, so she never has a negative reaction. And that feels heavy and less attractive. Picture this. You're on a date and you make a slightly edgy joke. She smiles, maybe even laughs. For a second, there's a spark. Then panic sets in. You immediately follow up with, sorry, was that too much? I just have a dark sense of humor sometimes. And just like that, the spark is gone. The vibe is dead. You killed it. Same pattern over text. You send a normal message, then a minute later you add, if that sounded rude, I'm so sorry. I really didn't mean it like that. She wasn't reading it as rude until you highlighted it and turned it into a thing. The confident alternative is to simply own it. You make the joke, you see her smile, you smile back, and you move the conversation on. You send the text, you let it sit. No apology, no long justification, no nervous qualifying. When you justify yourself, even if she initially found nothing strange in what you said, your self-doubt makes her start reevaluating it because you keep apologizing and over-explaining and dragging her attention back to that one comment. The more you make a big deal out of it, the bigger a deal it becomes. The fix is not finding the perfect line. Women don't need you to say everything flawlessly. Confidence is about being comfortable with imperfection and trusting you can handle it. So say what you mean and let it land. Trust her to be a grown-up about it and trust yourself to be okay even if you aren't perfect. So, we've established that taking your words back signals weakness. But what about the opposite mistake? What happens when you try way too hard to sell your words? To verbally prove just how much of a good guy you are? That's a more subtle trap, and it's what we're going to dismantle next. This leads us right into the fourth good guy trap, the proclamation trap. I know why you do this. You have good values, and you want her to know she's safe with you, that you're not like the others. So you say things like, you can trust me. I'm one of the good ones. I'm very loyal. Here's the hard truth. While your intentions are good, this often sounds exactly like what a player or a dishonest person would say to lower her guard. It feels like a sales pitch, and instead of relaxing her, it actually puts her on alert. In her body, it doesn't calm her nervous system. It makes her slow down, hold back a little, and watch closely to see if your behavior actually matches the slogan. It raises a quiet internal question in her mind. If he's really all these things, why does he feel the need to sell it so hard? True positive qualities like loyalty, kindness, and trustworthiness aren't proven by giving a little speech about yourself. They are demonstrated through actions over time. Women build trust based on what we see. We see your consistency. We see how you treat the waiter. We see if your words actually match your actions day after day. We notice how you handle stress or frustration, whether you respect our boundaries, and how you respond when something doesn't go your way. So let's put this into practice. The wrong way is using cheap words. Trust me, I'm a good guy. The right way is through priceless action. Remembering that tiny detail she mentioned last week, showing up exactly when you said you would, speaking respectfully to the waiter, and staying grounded instead of snapping when plans change. Your character will always speak for itself, and it speaks much louder than your words ever could. Remember this. Good men don't explain their goodness. They just demonstrate it. So now, instead of trying to convince her with speeches, you're letting your actions do the talking. And that alone already makes women feel more relaxed and safe around you. But there's a non-verbal way you might be doing the exact same thing. And it's by bringing way too much emotional intensity, way too soon. That's our next trap, and it's a deep one. This is the fifth. Good guy trap, the intensity trap. And it's when you bring too much emotional intensity way too soon. This looks like sharing deep personal trauma on a first date, or talking about relationship labels after just a couple of hangouts, or already painting a future together, talking about the trips you'll take, what your kids would be like, how she's wife material, when you barely know each other, or making her feel like she is already responsible for your happiness, which lands as a soft form of love bombing from her side. And look, I completely get why this happens. You share deeply because you want to build a real, vulnerable connection, not a superficial one. Your intention is to be authentic. But here's how it's perceived. When it's too much, too soon, it doesn't feel like connection. It feels like pressure. In her head, it sounds like, wait, do I have to manage his emotions now? If I don't match this, am I the bad person? Does he fall this hard for every woman this fast? That sudden sense of responsibility and doubt makes her guard go up. To her, it signals that you're trying to force a level of intimacy that hasn't been earned yet, which puts her on the defensive. The solution is to learn to pace your emotional investment. Think of it like building a campfire together. You start with small twigs and kindling, light, fun topics. You let the flame catch. As the fire grows stronger, you decide together when to add bigger pieces of wood. You don't throw a giant wet log on at the very beginning and smother the tiny spark. Connection has to be built together at the same pace. So how do you actually do that in real time? First, on dates 1 to 3, stay mostly in the twigs zone. Your interests, hobbies, funny stories, light family background, work, travel, your day-to-day life. Save deep trauma, detailed ex-drama, and I think you're the one type confessions for later, once you're both consistently choosing each other. Second, mirror her level of sharing. If she's keeping it light, you can go 1 notch more personal, not 10. If she opens up about something a bit vulnerable, you can meet her there with something similar in depth, not respond with a full emotional unload she now feels obligated to hold. Third, use a simple rule of thumb. If what you're about to say would make her feel responsible for fixing you or for committing to a future with you, it's too heavy for early dates. Keep that for when the relationship is actually established. On a second date, the wrong way sounds like, my ex really broke my heart, and I'm looking for something serious now. The signal you're sending is pressure and baggage. The right way is simply, this is fun, I'm really enjoying getting to know you. That signals presence, enjoyment, and zero pressure. You're matching the emotional level of the interaction instead of trying to jump several steps ahead. We just talked about the danger of being too intense. But there's an opposite mistake that's just as deadly to attraction. Being physically present, but emotionally checked out, like you're sitting in front of her, but your vibe has already ghosted on the date. A ghost on the date. That's the final trap we need to dismantle. This is the sixth and final good guy trap, the passive presence. You are physically on the date, but emotionally, you are a ghost. It looks like this. You give polite little nods, but with a blank face. You answer with one-word acknowledgements like cool or wow, and then go quiet instead of adding a feeling or a question. You glance down at your drink or around the room while she is talking, instead of holding her eyes for a second so she can feel you there with her. You let topics die without a single follow-up. From your side, it feels calm and respectful. From her side, it feels like she is talking at a wall. Now, I know why you might do this. You are trying to be a good listener. You do not want to interrupt her or make the conversation all about you. The intention is solid, but your silence is easily misread as boredom or a complete lack of interest. Inside her head, it sounds like, he is not attracted to me. I am boring him. He is just being polite. Her body tightens a little. She starts shortening her answers, and her attraction drops fast because she does not feel seen or important around you. So, let us make this practical. She says, I am thinking of learning pottery. Wrong way. You nod, mumble, oh, cool, look back at your plate and wait for her to rescue the conversation. She feels that drop instantly. Right way. You lean in a little, make eye contact and say, really? That is interesting. What draws you to pottery? Maybe you add a small reaction like, I have always thought it looks really relaxing. Now she has space to share the story and the feeling, and she can feel your curiosity. That pottery moment is the pattern you want to repeat. Anytime she shares something, think of 3 moves. First, show a small emotional reaction. Second, ask what she likes about it or how it feels for her. Third, ask for a bit of backstory or what she wants to do with it. If she says, work has been crazy this week, passive you says, yeah, same, and stops. Active you goes, what happened? Is it the workload or the people? And then, how are you dealing with it? That is the difference between being a warm presence and background noise. You can keep it simple. Phrases like, wait, tell me more about that. Or, I have never thought of it that way. What made you think that? Instantly show you are processing what she says, not just hearing sounds. Being emotionally present is not a vague personality trait. It is a set of tiny, visible habits she can feel. On your next date, run this quick checklist anytime she opens up. 1. Eyes on her, not your phone or the room. 2. Lean in or turn your body toward her and let your face and nods react for a beat with a smile, a raised eyebrow, or a soft no way. 3. Ask at least one follow-up question. 4. Add one short piece of your own experience so it feels like a shared moment, not an interview. Your engagement in those small ways is the proof for her that you are really there with her. That is how you shift from passive listener to active participant. Now that we have dismantled all 6 of these good guy traps, the things that were accidentally pushing women away are gone. So what is left? That is what we are about to uncover next. The path to letting your real, authentic confidence finally shine through. So what is that path? Grounded confidence. None of the 6 good guy traps come from a bad place. They come from insecurity and misreading what builds attraction. The good news is they're habits, not character flaws. So small shifts in these areas can lead to much better results. Attraction grows when you're confident, curious, grounded, and comfortable in your own life. And it fades when you try too hard, give too much too soon, or operate from insecurity instead of authenticity. Here's your final good guy trap checklist. Screenshot it as your cheat sheet so you know what to do instead. Changing these 6 habits can quickly change how women respond to you. 1. Availability trap. Stop dropping everything for her. Start protecting time. Keep plans and offer alternatives, not last-minute sacrifices. 2. Interview trap. Stop rapid-fire questions. Start using the question connection response model. Ask one question, share your take, let her talk. 3. Justification trap. Stop over-explaining your decisions. Start stating your choice once, give a reason if needed, then drop it, and stop chasing approval. 4. Declaration trap. Stop announcing your feelings prematurely. Start letting your actions lead. Time together, flirting, shared experiences. Then put words to it once she's meeting you. 5. Intensity trap. Stop rushing it. Start matching her pace in texting, plans, and depth, and turn it up as she invests back. And 6. Passive presence trap. Stop being a silent observer. Start leading the interaction. Make comments, ask follow-ups, and share reactions so she feels you, not sees you. By avoiding these traps, you're not becoming a different guy. You're dropping insecure habits so your natural confidence comes through, and women feel that calmer, more grounded energy immediately. If this video helped you identify even one blind spot, my job is done. Subscribe for more guides on navigating the modern dating world with confidence. And remember, you've got this.